What's going on, YouTube? I'm back, and it's Halloween. Perfect time, just like Michael Myers. I'm coming home. Anyway, there's been a lot that's been going on the past, I think it's been like 4 months since I uploaded the video. Maybe more than that. I've had a lot of stuff going on. I'll do another separate video about that, but I wanted to make sure I got out this review kind of slash recap of what happened during the Twisted Welcome to the Freak Show anniversary stream. It was only $13, and considering all the good work that they put into NetFest, I figured this would probably be worth it too. I'll get into that in a little bit about whether it'll be worth your money or not. I think it's going to be like a case-by-case situation on whether or not you think this is going to be worth it for you. If you see me looking down, it's because I have my notes. So, because I took notes the entire show just so I could remember exactly what happened. Okay, let's just hop right into it. It opened up with a bunch of advertisements for stuff for MNE Shop. It was actually a little longer than I thought it would be, especially considering all this stuff is pre-recorded. None of it was live. I think I don't watch all of Monoxide's live streams because, I mean, I should, because he gives away a lot of details about their next record album, their next album, what albums they're releasing, stuff that they don't say anywhere else. But usually I just get all my information from Roanbone from Beneath the Dirt podcast. And so I guess I was hip to the fact that they weren't going to be live performances, but they said they were going to do music videos for each video. For each song, off of Freak Show. They were performing every single song off of Freak Show for the 20th anniversary of the album. So, anyway, the first up was the drive-by performance, and this was, not a live performance, but it was a tape performance. So they were actually performing the songs, and they were actually, rapping them. It was all recorded live, like I said. And I'll be honest, I'm not entirely familiar with Drive-By's discography, so I don't know all the songs that they played. I know they did they did Hood Rats, they did Party at the Liquor Store, they did a couple ABK, a couple Blaze songs here and there, I think. It was about 30 minutes, so it was kind of like what you would expect for opening act. I kind of would have liked to have seen more opening acts for this, because it actually wasn't that long of a stream. It wasn't like Netflix or NetFest, which was like, an all-day thing. This was kind of like maybe 3 hours, maybe 2 hours. I guess that's long enough for some people, especially on Halloween Eve. Anyway, like I said, but the thing that got me about this performance is that there was no warning for this, but Jesus Christ, tone down the light show. There were moments during the stream where I had to put my eyes away, especially at the beginning, because at the beginning it was just like strobe lights in your eyes, and if you can see where my how far away I am from the camera, that's where I keep my monitor, and I was watching it on my monitor, and so it's right in my eyes, and if you had any kind of seizures or anything like that, or you're prone to that kind of thing, guarantee that would have set you off. And I didn't see any warning about it. That's kind of, but still, it bothered my eyes, and because I had to look away because it was too much. It was way too much. And that's really my only criticism of that first performance, because it was dope. It was drive-by. It was ABK and Blaze. You can't go wrong with that. And then it goes, I think they did a couple more ads in between when Blaze and ABK were, and when they were going to start doing the actual official Twisted stuff. And during these ads, they announced that Attack of the Ninjas is going to be a live streaming event, and it's going to take place on December 30th, which has raised some questions about Astronomicon 4, but on itself, that's pretty dope. I've never actually been to an Attack of the Ninjas, which, I probably should have gone by now, because Detroit's not actually that far from where I live. But anyway, so this will be my first Attack of the Ninjas. My only hope is that the Zool Boys play. It's kind of strange because I never really saw them doing a kind of digital performance. Maybe they won't, but I've never seen them doing like a kind of like a live stream performance thing before. But this would be dope, because if they do like a normal Attack of the Ninjas, it's going to be everybody, you know. So they said more details are coming. That's all we know at this point. Well, that, and it's going to take place December 30th. That's it. I think it's going to be on the same provider, which was Live From, I think is what it's called. And, you know, like I said, we don't know much more than that. That was just kind of like a big news drop on it. You know, and then it did the intro. It was basically just the album cover with a couple, like, effects going on, you know, the intro. And so for each song, I'm going to go through and I'm just going to give you a real basic idea of what the music video was like. Like, I'll get into it. Let me just start. Okay. So, Mutinex, they were kind of, because I said, like, I wrote down my notes, but I didn't write them down, like, extensive notes. They were wearing, like, their white shirt with a black tie, and they were in front of, like, a bunch of, like, monitors and stuff. And they, I don't want to say lip sync their performance, but they did like a music video thing, you know, where they basically lip sync their performance. For We Don't Die, they didn't use a new video. They just played the old video, which I think people kind of expected. But to be honest, the way that they did these videos, I kind of would have hoped that they have done a new one, you know, because there really wasn't, this is getting into a little bit more of my review of it, there really wasn't that much effort put into these videos. I'm saying that just from like a viewer's perspective, because all of these videos are all like in one setting, and they're just kind of like mouthing the words to all of them. There's no, you know, storytelling going on, at least not really, and there's no, you know, kind of scene switching and things like that. There's none of that going on. It's basically what this is they said there were music videos, but they're more like performances in different locations, and they're not live. So, yeah, take from that what you will. I was going to mention all that at the end, but I guess it gives you a better perspective of what I'm saying when I go through these videos. Like I said, the We Don't Die, they just used the psychopathic video. I was actually half expecting them to like edit Val and Jay and Shaggy out, especially after what happened with the shoot interview, but they didn't. I mean, they kept the same video as it was. Fall Apart was in kind of like this abandoned building. Not much more descriptive than that. With this video, like Monoxide, like in most of these videos, it kind of looks like they don't know what to do. And like Monoxide's doing like this kind of, these like weird goofy dances and stuff that, I mean, I guess like if you're mouthing the words to your songs and you don't really know what to do, it's not that weird, but it's kind of funny. Let's see, that was Fall Apart. Fuck on the First Date starts with like this really crude, and when I say crude, I kind of mean like bad, animation, with like this, you know, how that song starts with the girl talking, and then it goes into the song, which is them like in this, they're like in a green screen basically, and there's just this weird stuff going on in the background, and then eventually they kind of turn into that same crude animation. There's another kind of like, honestly, this is probably the most effort they put into any of the videos because of the animation, but it was also probably one of the worst, I guess. Do You Really Know was just in a prison, and like they're just rapping in the cells basically. Leave Me Alone was in the exact same building from Fall Apart. I think all these videos took place in one building. I think it was mentioned again in one of Monoxide streams that they were going to film these videos in a haunted house, and it's pretty clear. Like I said, when I go through here, there's some other stuff, but they're all in like different, you know how haunted houses have different themes throughout the house. You could tell like they probably just used the different rooms to do these different videos, which I think it worked in some cases and it didn't work in others. The prison thing could have been cool. What I wish they would have done is they would have, like I said, mixed it up a little bit and maybe did a little bit of storytelling with the videos. Anyway, like I said, Leave Me Alone was in the exact same. It looked like they probably shot those videos back to back, just in the same room. People Are Strange, which is actually one of my favorite songs that's on the album, even though it's a cover, was actually had a pretty cool setting. They did it in like this kind of like circus / freak show kind of backdrop. It was pretty cool. I really wish they'd get that song on Spotify. It's the only song I think on that whole album that's not available on Spotify. I mean, it's obvious why it's not on there, but still. All I Ever Wanted. This video was like weird to describe because it was like in like, it's hard to describe the room. It's kind of like, looks like shipping crates, like those big freighter shipping crates. And then there's like moss hanging down from the ceiling. Again, a haunted house room, probably like, in between type scenario. I Wanna Be. Okay, this was kind of another one that I think maybe they put a little bit more effort into as well. Obviously it's really short, but it's like Madrox's dressed up as Batman, and they do like this kind of like fade in, and he's like inside this TV screen. I mean, it's basically all green screen, but it just looked cool, And obviously, like I said, it's really short. Where am I? Oh, Bags. Bags was in like this, like, they had like this might have been shot in something of their own. I don't think they shot this at the haunted house. They had like this big twisted, like with this marijuana leaf with like Twisted written on it, and they had like all these, all the marijuana things all over the walls and stuff. So it was, on theme. So, this one wasn't actually that bad either, because it was obvious that this was something that they set up and it was different than the haunted house stuff. What the Dead Like was in another haunted house thing. There were like skulls all around, and then there was like a casket behind them. It kind of looked cool. I like What the Dead Like. That's another one of my favorite songs. I feel like it's a little bit underrated. That was there. Empty. They're just sitting in an electric chair. That's the whole video. Again, it's another haunted house thing. Where It's Going Down. Okay, this one was cool too. I think this was probably not my favorite, but probably my second favorite of what they did. This was on a rooftop. I think it was the first video they shot, because after the live stream, they do like this kind of like outtakes thing, and they're talking about, they show outtakes from that video shoot, and it sounds like it was the first one they recorded, and it was in Pontiac, Michigan. They're just on a rooftop. It's, Twiztid, Blaze, and ABK, and it's a good song. It was just, like I said, my second favorite probably of all of them that they did. Let's see, Broken Wings was in a kind of another one that's in like a little bit of an abandoned building. They may have shot these 3 videos. They're in this abandoned building, separate also from the haunted house thing, and they just shot these 3 videos in the building, and that was it. And this one, they just added like some little like artifacting on the video. It's just like an effect that they did, not like artifacts like Tomb Raider, artifacts like on a messed up film cell. I don't know how else to explain it. Maniac Killer. Okay, this was my favorite video. And it was just another one they shot in the haunted house, but it was just a cool set that they had. It was a morgue, and they actually had like a corpse on the slab, and it looked pretty good. Like, they didn't show it real close, but they would just, glow over it, and it looked dope. And but the only problem with it was real small space, I think. And so Twiztid were in there, and they had Blaze in there too, obviously. And yeah, it was dope. And they had like a little toe tag that was on the corpse. I think it was something that the haunted house had on there already, because it goes by really fast. And I saw it, and I thought, oh man, I wonder if that's like an Easter egg, like if they put like Violent J on there or something, a little subliminal jab. But I went back and I watched it, and it just is. They got some funny names. I'll put it on the screen. It's just some funny names. Like, I think the doctor's name was Frank Stein, and the physician was something like Owen Cash,
and I forget what the other name that was on there. It was just little funny kind of like goofy haunted house things, I think is what they did. And then Different, another one of my favorite songs. This was, I didn't put down any really good notes for this, but it was in like I just put haunted house attraction. The whole thing was really in a haunted house, so, you know, this must have been just another one that they shot in a haunted house. And then the last video they did was I'm Alright, and they did this on like a staircase, like they're sitting on a staircase, and then there's like these monitors, they're in the background, and then that's the whole video. So yeah, that's the whole breakdown, video by video, of what you could expect if you plan on buying the live stream, or if you just want to hear this review and listen to the album instead. Because I originally left this stream with liking it a lot, you know, and I don't know, maybe it was the feedback I was seeing that changed my opinion of what it was, because I've seen a little bit of disappointment from people, and I can definitely see that, because like I said, like they weren't live performances. They decided to just you know, lip sync all of it, and they weren't really music videos either. Like, that would have been okay if they filmed real music videos for everything. And really what it is, I know I said this earlier, but really all it is like performances in different locations. They're not really music videos. So if they were going to go the route that they went, where they just shot something in different locations, I would have rather have seen them perform them live, like actually do the song rather than lip sync. It was an unusual choice to do it the way that they did. I think my initial enjoyment of the stream was just hearing the album again, because, you know, I don't sit around and listen to Freak Show all the time, especially not these days. And, you know, it's been a little while since I've listened to Freak Show, especially all the way through, because I listen to some of those songs, you know, on their own, but I don't listen to the album all the way through. So I think my initial, like, positive feeling about the stream was just the music, because it's one of Twiztids' best albums. I mean, there's no denying that. So, you know, is it worth buying? I think that's up to you. I think it depends how much you like Twiztid, because if you really like Twiztid, this is cool. You know, it's visuals for the music, and, you know, you'll get your money out of it. But if you're just kind of like an in-between fan, like you kind of like Twiztid, I'd say just get on Spotify or something, listen to the songs, or just go on YouTube and listen to some of the music, because the music is, you know, there's no question the music is dope. But the music videos left something to be desired, I think. That being said, I still enjoyed it. You know, I still thought it was kind of dope. But I can see how a lot of people were disappointed. And for me, it's just kind of like somewhere in between. I think I got my money's worth? Yeah, I think so. But I didn't walk away like, you know, that was awesome, like I could have if they put a little bit more into it. That being said, I also feel like, you know, with the quarantine, it would have been hard for them to put together something that I think would have been really, really dope. Because if you've watched a lot of music videos, especially new ones that have been filmed during the pandemic, they're not that great. In general, I'll say that. Like, especially if you've watched some of the other MNE music videos, like Wasted 4, they shot a music video for that was during NetFest. That was really underwhelming. It was kind of shot with cell phones, I think, and it was just kind of thrown together anyway. And then even if you watch the Bounce by Red, that music video, it's just him walking down the street. You know, so the pandemic has really kind of put a stranglehold on music videos in general. But I still feel like they could have come through and done something really fresh, you know. But, you know, for doing, you know, however many tracks that was, there's a lot, like 18, I think. You know, you can't expect them to sink a whole bunch of money into shooting music videos for that either. So there's a balancing act going on, you know what I mean? And for getting only about $13 for stream as opposed to, ICP's thing. But I mean, granted, ICP's Patreon it's a lot more going on, but they're charging $60. So, it is what it is. But the other thing is that NetFest was free, and I think I may have preferred it if they just did like what they did with NetFest and just did a live performance, and just did everything off the cut like that. I think I would have preferred that over what we got, which like I said, not bad. Anyway, those were my impressions of Twiztids. Welcome to the Freak Show live stream. It's a bit of a mixed bag. It's going to be kind of a case-by-case scenario about whether or not you want to tune in. For me, I'll give it a C because it's really in between. Like, it's really kind of like they could have done better, but could they have done better? I don't know. I'm middling on this because it's such a strange situation, I guess, with everything going on, that I don't want to, I think some people will get some enjoyment out of it. That's it. C grade. So, like I said, surprise, surprise, I'm back. I do plan on continuing doing more videos. I just hit the 400 subscriber mark, which is fucking awesome. I never would have imagined I would get 400 subscribers. Yeah, so I'm going to keep doing stuff. I'm going to keep doing more Zool stuff. Speaking of Zool stuff, I'm going to do a Mausoleum video or music album review. And then I'm also going to do probably a Blaze Cadaver review as well. I picked a physical copy up of that. I got some Zool stuff coming in the mail soon. I'm also going to do kind of like a channel update video separate to talk about kind of what's been going on. And I'll also detail, maybe a little bit more about future videos I'm going to do. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm back.